Alright, today we're going to be figuring out the difference between speed and velocity, and we'll use a fairly simple example where we have a ramp right here with a marble on it. And on top, that ramp is 12 meters. In the x-axis, it's 8 meters. Y-axis, it is 6 meters. And we'll say that it takes the marble 2 seconds to get to the bottom. So let's figure out our speed of the marble first. So speed equals distance over time. So what is the distance that the marble traveled? Well, is that 12 meters on the ramp? So we have 12 meters over 2 seconds. That just equals 6 meters per second. Now you might be wondering, well, what is velocity and how is it different from speed? You can pretty much think of velocity as speed in a direction. So instead of taking the 12 meters, we're going to be looking at the x and y directions. So our velocity in the x is going to use our distance that the marble traveled in the x, and that's going to be 8 meters over the same amount of time, 2 seconds. So velocity in the x equals 4 meters per second. Then we're going to look at the velocity in the y. How far did the marble travel in the y direction? Was our 6 meters over there. So for our distance, we have 6 meters over our time, which was 2 seconds. Velocity in the y equals 3 meters per second. Now, if you're paying close attention, you might have noticed something that I did wrong here. When you're looking at the axes, that's going to be your positive x. That's your positive y. That's your negative x, and that's your negative y. So our y direction was actually in the negative. So instead of 6 meters, that should be a negative 6 meters. So then in our formula, it should be a negative 6 meters over 2 seconds, which means our final y velocity is negative 3 meters per second. So that's the difference between speed and velocity.